What one advice can you give to a young person, 20 years, watching you right now? How do you define freedom?
Freedom is just no worries. We're in a land where there's so many bills, this bill, that bill. So freedom is just knowing that you're financially comfortable, knowing that you can wake up in the morning and you have a secure job, you have a secure home, life is good, like you can breathe, you have things moving, you have things in motion. Freedom is motion, having things just fluid and going. Me, every day I wake up, I say, I'm rich. I know I'm rich. It's just maybe it's not here yet, but I'm rich. And when the richness comes, the wealth, whatever, I'll be like, you see, guys, I kept saying I was rich.
Yes. Hello, welcome to Talk Up Youth Podcast. My name is Evans Owusu, and today is going to be an interesting conversation with my sister here in the studio with me. And before I will introduce her to you, I just want to share a little piece of message with you. Anytime that I get opportunity to speak to a matured person concerning how to build the young people, the question that I mostly ask is, how are we building the next generation of leaders? How are we bringing them up to take the baton when you guys are not, or you are not no more, you are not, you are gone? But I get a lot of questions, a lot of answers from them. And I would like to share with you a piece of advice someone gave it to me. He told me that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. And the second best time to plant a tree is now. So young people, we have to come together. Whatever that we are planning to do, everything that is in mind, we have to start it from now. We need not to wait for anything. We have to start it and start it from now. Through that, the leaders will help us. They will mentor us. They will give us the messages that we need to hear. And today we are going to talk about how you can know yourself, your best self. And I'm speaking to a writer and a speaker. I hope this conversation is going to give you a lot of information. Don't go anywhere. Stick to this conversation to the end, and you'll be imparted. Let me introduce to you my guest in the studio with me, Sandy. Sandy, you are welcome.
Thank you.
It's so amazing having you on my podcast today.
I'm honored and grateful to be here. Thank you for the invite.
You are welcome. You are welcome. How's the summer treating you?
Summer has been good. I've been outside. So it's good. Work some, play some. So it's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you see how the sun is scorching. It's very, very difficult to go by day during the sunny time because it's not easy. Canada weather is not easy, but we are trying to cope everything.
Absolutely.
Today, we are going to talk about how I can know myself very well. As a young person, I always say, or the purpose of this podcast is to mentor the young people, is to teach the young people to take the baton when our leaders are no more.
Yes.
So how are we doing that? That is how this podcast came about. So today we are going to know how we can know ourselves so that we can start something and our leaders will also help us through it. So you hear people say, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do this.
Yes.
It means the person is trying to know him or herself.
Yes.
So if we talk of self, how do you explain that? How do you educate young people on that? How to know themselves?
When it comes to self, especially to a younger generation or a younger demographic, knowing oneself is just knowing who you are. Have an idea as to your identity. So it could be knowing your cultural roots. It could be knowing your foundation, like where you came from, your parents, right? Knowing the family that you come from, having values, right? Because no one can tell you who you are. Your parents gave you a name, for example, my name is Sandra. I know that's my name. No one will call me a different name where I will answer because I know myself. I know that name was given to me. So once you're aware of who you are, what you carry, it's something so beautiful because it doesn't it's like you're not easily shaken or you're not easily broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So if you talk of personal growth, what comes in mind? What is your understanding to the word personal growth, and how do you see that in these young people?
When it comes to personal growth, I'll use myself as an example, right?
Sure.
Because I've been young before,
Yes.
right? No one has
And you're
ever.
actually still young.
Well, thank you.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, as they say, everyone has been a child, not everyone has been an adult, right?
Yes.
So being from young till now, I know that there's things that I've let go of or things that I don't do anymore, right? Because you're growing, you're evolving. Just as how the world is changing and we go through seasons, you have to grow through things, right?
Yes.
In terms of maybe the way you deal with things, the way you speak to people, how you address things, right? I look at things like that as to, maybe 10 years ago, I would react into a certain way to a certain situation, whereas now it's like, I take a step back
Sure.
and I look at it from an outer perspective. I'm not perfect, right?
Yeah.
I'll put that out there. I'm not perfect, of course. And the youth, they're not perfect as well. But it's just through time, through pruning, through conversations like this, through giving them tools, I feel like they'll get there. Yeah.
So do you see that young people are doing something when it comes to, the question is, do you think that young people do understand the word self?
I don't think so.
Why? Why do you say that?
I don't think young people understand self because there's so many things out there. There's so many things that are being pushed in their face and telling them who to be. For example, I can sit here and say, be an entrepreneur, be a go-getter, do this. But that is not the person. Not everybody can be an entrepreneur. Not everybody can be a doctor. Not everybody can be a speaker, a writer. So it's like they don't understand that you have to sit down within yourself, do a self-assessment, and figure out who you are. Do not let someone tell you who you should be, especially when it comes to social media. Like there's times where you see influencers, they are influencing, right? They're showing you and they're putting in your face, but what exactly are they influencing? I think that's a question.
So yes, that's my question. So do you think you spoke about the social media influence?
Yes.
And do you think young people nowadays are being identified by the social media influence? They can't do that on their own, but someone is dictating or showing that, oh, okay, this is who I am, so that is what you should be. Do you think that is what is happening now?
I believe so because there's so many trends, right? You'll see, like, for example, on TikTok, there'll be something and it's like, oh, this is the new trend. And it will be something so foolish. So why is it that you as a person, you're following something that you know you can get hurt or something that's going to derail you, but because it's a trend and everyone's doing it, they're doing it. So then it's like if they say, hey, everybody do this, you're going to follow suit. So then you lose that ability of knowing self because now you're doing what everyone else is doing. If we were all the same or if we were all one, we would all be wearing the same red, same haircut, same face.
Sure.
There wouldn't be no individuality, right? Yeah.
So how can young people start identify themselves so that our leaders or our parents or our teachers can also help us, build us and mold us to also take the baton when they are not there?
I believe they need to be given the tools. Like they can't just sit there and figure it out from themselves. Like I said, yes, figure it out, have a self-assessment, but they also need proper influences, right? Like for example, like my nieces, there's things that they follow, and sometimes I'm just like, I'll look at what they're watching, what they're viewing, and I see it as, okay, this is not really going to help your future, so maybe you should kind of derail your focus somewhere else.
Yes.
If we give them tools, like you see, that's me giving them a tool, like a little advice as to shift this way, don't look this way. I feel like tools like that is what helps them. Our parents, I'm pretty sure there's things that your parents, advice that they've given you where you have it in the back of your mind and you still use it through life.
Sure.
So things like advice, things like tools, things like just build them up so they know who they are. When you know who you are, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. Sandy, you as I said earlier, you are still young. You are still in your yeah. Let me say it because
I'm still 26.
let me say true because let me say in the next 5 years,
Yes.
you will be a prominent person in our community.
Thank you.
You will take a lead in a particular field.
Yes.
So it means you've trained yourself, you've known yourself, you've known where you are going. Sometimes there is a saying that if you don't know where you are going, every wind blow you to different direction.
Yes.
Because you know yourself, use yourself as an example. How did you, at what point of time did you realize yourself that, okay, this is me, this is Sandra? So that young people listening to you right now can also have an advice or take something out of how you identified yourself.
I think, well, I'm still pretty young. I'm still in my early 30s. I think it became when I was 30. When I turned 30, I know like people will be like, oh, 30, you have to have this, and this done. I don't see it as that, but I had my fun. I'm not all seriousness and always focus, right? I had my fun, but there came to a time where I was like, okay, yes, what am I looking for in the next 5 years? So before I hit 30, I was like, okay, I have to write these things down. I have to look at them and I have to put plans in place as to how I'm going to achieve them,
Sure.
right? I know that people, they say you plan, you can have goals, whatever the case is, but it's more tangible when you write it down. It seems more real, right?
Yes.
Especially when I had like steps as to how I'm going to get it done. I write a lot. I feel like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you can't spell. Like then dictate it like via voice note or something. I wrote it down. I wrote it down and I said, this is what I want to accomplish. There's things that I said from 10 years ago that I saw that, okay, I should have had it done by now, but I didn't. So what was the problem, right? So I wrote it down and I was like, okay, let's get it. Let's get going because by 40, I want to have certain things
Yes.
for myself in my life. And I feel like I'm on a pretty good path. As they say, man plans, but it's all
God decides.
God decides. So I hope God is deciding in my favor. But I wrote it down and I said, okay, this is who I am. This is what I want to be. I have mentors, right? And I also have people that I admire. And I looked at what they had achieved, where they were going. And I was like, okay, I have to get there. I don't want to be left behind. That's how I realized, okay, this is it.
They so pretty good. Like they so good. So Sandy, I'm just taking you back.
Yes.
Let me take you back to your early 20s.
Okay.
If you were to get opportunity to go back in time, like your 20s, what's one thing that you didn't do, and now you think like you feel that if you get the opportunity, you are going to do that?
Oh my gosh. My early 20s. One thing, financial literacy. I'm not going to lie, financial literacy, because in your early 20s, it's like, yeah, you have the money, you just blow.
Have more fun going out.
More fun.
chilling.
Oh my goodness. What chilling did I not do? So honestly, financial literacy, because I feel that once I hit my 30s, I was kind of like my 30. It seems like I was fixing up errors of my 20s. So if one thing, I would go back and fix, like, educate myself. Like I like to educate myself. I like to learn. But that's one thing I would have really like sat down and say, hey, someone give me the tools so I understand like how to invest properly, how to save properly, how to do this. Like instead of, yeah, now I'm doing it, but it's like I'm not going to see the fruits yet. So I would have loved to have done that in my 20s so that I could really see the fruits now.
So based on what you are saying, what one advice can you give to a young person, 20 years, watching you right now?
Save. Save. Because if you save today, it will save you tomorrow. Save. Financial literacy is important. And use it to educate yourself to feel things that you want to do. So that's one thing I would tell them. Save. Like don't let all this fad of, new bags, new shoes, early 20s, going to the club, doing the vacations, doing all of that. It's fun, but it's more fun when you have the freedom when you're older and you don't really have the stress. In your 20s, like focus on school, get some stuff going. So don't blow too much money. Save some money.
If you talk of freedom, how do you define it?
Freedom.
Yes.
Freedom is waking whatever time that you want to wake up. That's free.
In your own ways.
In my own
Yeah,
ways.
in your own ways. How do you define freedom?
Freedom. Freedom is just no worries. No worries. We're in a land where there's so many bills. Bills, this bill, that bill. So freedom is just knowing that you're financially comfortable. Knowing that you can wake up in the morning and you have a secure job. You have a secure home. Life is good. Like you can breathe. You have things moving. You have things in motion. Freedom is motion, having things just fluid and going.
Good.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I'm going to take your definition of freedom because it's so awesome. Like seriously.
Thanks.
Sandy, at the age of 25, did you have goals?
Yes, absolutely.
Why? Why did you decide to have goals? What is the purpose of goals?
I would say I had even my goals earlier than 25, but the purpose of goals is just, once again, to just live. Like life is for the living. We're alive. We're breathing. So I had those goals so that I could live free, live a purposeful life. 25, I felt that, hey, I'm almost there. I used to make fun of everybody who was older in their 30s and 40s.
Yes.
So I was just like, oh, let me have goals. So when I get there, no one is laughing at me.
Because they are going to use your own ways to hit you back.
Exactly. And,
Yes.
sometimes I'm feeling, I have
Sure.
a sister who's always saying, oh, you 40-year-old. I'm not even 40 yet. But she's always making those jokes. So I had those goals because I foresee, it's like I have this foresight, like I see far. I don't see just today. I don't sit here and I just look at what's going on now. Like I see the beyond. So those goals is for me to achieve the beyond. I see the beyond as light, bright, good, purposeful, enjoyment,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
So I had those goals so that from 25 to whatever time it takes me, I will get there.
You know what? Let me say 5 or 10 years ago, AI was not active.
Yes.
Social media was actually active. Yeah, it was
Yes.
actually bad. Now that AI is active, what goals can young people set now, today, that will help them in the next 10 years? Aside the financial literacy, what are some of the goals that can help them to also build their future?
When it comes to AI, I think we need to, so with youth or young people, they should educate themselves with AI, right? Because we don't know where it's going to go in the next 5-10 years. I never thought I would wake up and I could just input a few words and something can write me a letter. I never thought I could put a few words and it can give me a financial plan, right? So I feel that the youth need to educate themselves and get into those spaces, because if this is what's booming and going off and we didn't see this, I'm pretty sure there's people who forecasted that this may happen. I think that the youth need to educate themselves with artificial intelligence and just have a basis of, okay, if I can't be someone that programs, let's say, AI or fixes whatever bugs and all that stuff, what can I bring to the table when it comes to artificial intelligence? So they need to have those tools. I would encourage them to get those tools. Even me, myself, I don't really understand AI too tough. I try my best to refrain from using it, because when you get to places where you have to write freehand, I see that people are losing certain skills. Like I don't even see people cursive write anymore. I don't even know if my nieces or my little cousins can read cursive writing, because it doesn't exist. So then 10 years down the line, will it be easy for you to stand there and say, hey, Billy, spell hippopotamus for me. Billy's gonna struggle because he's been using AI to write everything for him.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I know AI is not part of our conversation, but honestly speaking, in every conversation right now, AI is part. You
Yes.
cannot leave it behind.
Yes.
So what are some of the challenges that young people face when identifying themselves?
Some of the
Because I
challenges.
know
Yeah.
very well that you had the same challenges.
Yeah. I would say, our friend groups, right? Sometimes when you're in a certain setting, you try and figure out who you are in that friend group. So if it's a positive friend group, you're going a positive way. If it's a negative friend group, you're going to derail.
Sure.
I'm not going to say I've always been, the positive go-getter kid, but of course there are certain friends that I, hung around with, and sometimes when I look back at it, and I do, because it's good to look back and see how far you've
Far you've
come,
gone. Yeah.
but not to look back to stay there. I look at certain maybe circles I was in, and in those circles I was stagnant. I wasn't doing anything. And then it's like, but with other friend groups, it was like, okay, everybody is going, so let me go too, right? So you have to, as they say, like the blind leading the blind. You have to have a circle that makes sense, that fuels your drive, and that also, when you're having your inner conversations, your inner self evaluation and assessments, they also can stamp of approval, like, yeah,
Sure.
you are who you say you are.
Is these days young people, we find it very difficult to get out of certain such groups. The bad, let me put it that way, the bad groups. We find it very difficult to come out from certain such groups. What can we do to come out from that?
It takes time. It takes time. Things that I believe that youth can do to come out of maybe groups that they shouldn't be in is just seeking help from where people or where they want to go, right? Like, let's say, for example, let's use a gang, for example. It's hard maybe because you're used to that gang. You're used to the security of being in that gang. But once you want to move from that life, if you don't have someone that's, hey, I'm going to hold your hand and pull you out, who exactly are they reaching out to when you want to come out of that group? So I feel that it's important to have someone that will guide you, someone that will hold out their hand and pull you out of these groups. It's very important because it just takes that one person that's going to speak life into you. It takes that one person that's going to help you. It takes that one person that's going to push you. And I think that's very important.
And how can I see that one person?
How can you
How can I see that one person that
how
you are
can you
talking
see
about?
that one
Yeah.
person? It's usually the person that sees the best in you when you don't see it yourself. I have a friend who every day he speaks life into me. And this is a friend from young. And if I come and say like, oh, it could be like, oh, I got like an A+ on something. The words that he will use, he'll be like, yeah, because you're great. That's why you got that. That's the greatness in you. It's how people speak into you. It's what they speak towards you. It's what they say to you. And as much as it may be like to him, it's like, oh, I'm just speaking to my friend. He doesn't know that those words fuel something. Because with the days where I'm down or I can't handle it or it's a lot, I can go to that friend and it's always positivity. So it's the way that person will speak life into you. That is the person that you could reach your hand to and say, hey, I need to get out of this. Help me.
But because of the stereotypes around, sometimes it's very difficult to even talk to a friend when you are in a trouble because I know of a couple of people that they are going through some challenges, but they fear to voice out because of they think if I say it to Sandy is going to spread it. So then let me keep it to myself. This thing is happening among young people. What advice would you give to such people who are listening to you right now?
If you're someone who you're going through something and you feel that it's hard for you to share because you don't want a stigma or you don't want your business out there, sometimes it's okay to just speak to a random person. Speak to somebody who is totally random, no judgment, and just lay it out. Because when you keep things inside, it eats you up, right? It tears you apart from the inside out. And when it does that, eventually it starts showing on you physically,
Sure.
right? So they need to either, even if it's not a random person, groups. You know, there's youth groups, there's youth lines, there's different groups that they can join, like church groups. Church groups have youth groups, community centers, somewhere where you can go and there's like-minded people. Even if it's not your own community, you need to find people where you can divulge to, or even therapy, right? And even if it's because of cost, like there's therapists there in community centers that offer their services for free. It's so important because the mind is a powerful thing, and when you have things that you're keeping, it just won't work out in your favor.
When you talk of mindset, what is it?
Mindset, it's the way you think. The mind, I think the mind is amazing, it's brilliant, because it can move you in a good way, it can move you in a bad way, right?
Yeah.
What you think, how you think, it's so important. Sometimes you hear people like, someone will say to you like, I'm attracted to you because of the way you think. It's not even how you look. It's just your mind is just so amazing. It even makes the person attractive to you. It makes you take a likeness to the person, even if it's just platonic. The mind is, it's cool.
Because actually, the reason why I asked this question is I spoke to this guy and he told me that why is it that anytime that I speak about negative things, it happens. But what about the positive side? I don't see results. So why is it that you always keep on telling me that it's everything is about your mindset?
Well, it's like planting seeds, right? What you're planting. So if you're someone who you constantly, if it's negative thoughts, negative speaking, then that's what's going to happen, right? Is it positivity that you speak, that you do it? You're planting that. So you know, as they say in the Akan, in our culture, in Ghanaian culture, you reap what you sow, right? I don't even know how to say in tree. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna butcher right now, but it's like you reap what you sow. So you may not see it now. You don't know, like even how I talked about my friend. Just those words, positivity. Just speak it as a man think it. So is he. Keep speaking positivity to yourself. Me, every day I wake up, I say, me, I'm rich. I know I'm rich. It's just maybe it's not here yet, but I'm rich. And when the richness comes, the wealth, whatever, I'll be like, you see, guys, I kept saying I was rich.
Yes. It's true. It's true because I think one day I spoke to one of my guests, that is Maurice Davis.
Yes.
He's doing very well.
Yes.
I spoke to him and I think the first time I met him, the first question that he asked me is, what is your number?
Okay.
And I was like, number 7? I said 7 because I actually love cell number 7.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I'm not talking about that number. I'm talking about the number of money that is in your mind that you want to earn at the end of the, maybe at the end, at a certain point. And he told me his own.
Yes.
And from then, that I told myself that, okay, then I have to also write something down.
Yes.
So I wrote mine down. I think I wrote about, is it $200 million? Yes.
Yes. Wow.
It's a very huge of money.
Yeah.
I wrote it down. And he told me that, hey, just write this money. If you have a checking account, just go get some. Write this money on the piece of paper or in your checkbook and just put it in your pocket. Though you don't have the money physically, but in your mind, you know very well that you have this money. And
Yes.
definitely, if you work towards it, you are going to get it.
Absolutely.
That's the reason why I ask you of mindset.
Yeah.
Because young people of nowadays, we don't think like that.
No.
And we need to start thinking like something. We need to start thinking like that. We need to start put something on our mind that, okay, I'm going to do this. By the next year, I'm going to buy this tablet.
Yes.
I have to work on it. I
Yes.
have to try. It's not on a negative way, but you have to work towards it.
Absolutely.
That is a goal setting or achievement. If we're able to get this tablet by the end of the year, you have achieved the goal that you set.
Yes.
So we have to do that. Sometimes we find it difficult to achieve it. That's the place where mentorship comes in.
Yes.
Someone gave me the definition about mentorship. I want to know your definition about mentorship. What is mentorship?
Mentorship?
Or who is a mentor?
Who is a mentor? A mentor is somebody that holds your hand. They hold your hand so that your errors are less. They mentor you into that goal that you have set for yourself. And it could be anything. It could be a goal as to maybe to be a certain particular person, or a goal to achieve something or get something. A mentor is someone who holds your hand and says, hey, I'm going to do this with you. I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to support you. And I'm also going to give you the tools. And also in anything that you're going through, whatever that I've been through that didn't work for me, I'm going to make sure that any errors, you don't face the same errors that I went through. That is a mentor.
Do you have one?
I have a few. I have a
No
few. Yeah, I have a few because they all have different tools that I'm looking for. I know there's probably people out there that would say that, oh, you need one mentor because if you have too many people, it's too many things going on. But I have mentors who, in a week, they will take a time and be like, hey, what's going on? So what did you do? Like, what are you doing now? What's the plan? Do you have a plan? And legit, they will pick up the phone, spend that hour, and they'll be like, okay, your time is done. I'm like, oh, yeah. And that hour, within that hour, it's like, it blows my mind. Like, okay, so I had all this to say, or this person had all this to say to me in that hour. So what am I doing? And then it lights and ignites that fire right under me to get going and get doing.
Wow. This is so interesting. Like I have to come to you so that you also show me how I can also get my mentors, because I only have one. I have to get extra mentors so that it can help me. I have to pause you here for a minute. If you've been watching this podcast and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please kindly do so. We are on a journey to impact the lives of young people. In the next 10, 15 years, you are going to be the next leader. So start it from now. Sandy, can you share a story at a point that inspired you during your journey?
Yes. From young. And I always tell this story. I believe it was I was like 7, 10 probably. And it was elementary school. And it was my I think she was grade 5 or grade 5 teacher. And she used to always read the newspaper to us. So I went to Catholic school. We would, Catholic school will do the morning announcements, but this teacher would let us pray. Like we would pray. She had her own thing. She was a God-fearing woman. The whole class, we would pray, and then she'll read us the news. She'll be going through the paper and read us a story. So she read a story about a teacher that was being sued because a child fell, and the teacher was being sued. And when you're young, especially as a kid, I had the utmost love for my teachers.
Yes.
So I was just like, I've always been an outspoken child. So I was just like, oh, that's not fair. Like, why would the parents sue the teacher when the teacher kept telling the kid, like, stop, you're going to get hurt. And so I was so passionate about the story. And even when she was done reading, she taught us our lesson through the day, etc. I went to her and it's like, I wanted to know more. And then I was like, can I read it? So I was so fixated on this story, and I was like, no, like that's not right. I want to grow up and speak for people. I want to help people. And I was just like, what is that? So I went home, I was bothering my parents, and I was always someone who's like, if I want something, I'm going to get it. Like by all means necessary or any means necessary, I will hammer at it until I get it. So I was like, what is that? What is that? Who are those people that speak for people, that help people? And then I was just like, oh, okay, it's a lawyer.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, that's what I need to be. That's who I need to be. That's who I'm going to become. And from then, I kept, sometimes people will be like, oh, don't tell people your plans. But I was like, that's who I'm going to be. Like, it's so embedded in me that I was like, I don't see myself doing anything else. And it inspired me throughout my life because I never forget that story and I never forget that little girl.
Sure.
The passion that I felt or that I had to say that this is what I wanted to do. And through the years, of course, things happen, ups and downs. I've always pursued the legal field, the legal system. That's always, even my father the other day said he thought I was going to be a police officer. I was like, no, that is not what I told you when I was young. So that has fueled me to not let that little girl down. And that little girl is me. I cannot let that little girl down because sometimes when I feel like I want to give up, I remember how I was so passionate, how so focused, and so like I was just so like there were so many emotions. So I was like, I cannot let that little girl down. And even if I'm 50, 60, I'm going to be that lawyer.
Sure.
I'm going to sit somewhere on the Supreme Court because, hey, if you take a look at our Supreme Court, we need a sister there.
Yes, we need one. Yeah, and we need you. We actually need you.
Yes. So that has fueled me.
The reason why I asked you this question,
Yes.
I'm giving you only 3 questions, then we drop the curtains down because we are far behind time. And you wrote something titled, Yes, I Can Do. Yes, I can. Is it that?
Yes, I can.
Yes,
yeah.
I can. What came in mind? What inspired you to write that book?
My niece Charisma inspired me because Charisma is my heart. I love all my nieces. I love all my children. I have so many children that I never gave birth to, but but with her, I didn't like, there was a time where she was like, oh, I can't. And I didn't like that. And I was just like, you can. Yes, you can. So she's always in my side when she comes to our house. So she was playing her game and I'm like, okay, let me see. Did you try? So I was guiding her. And you see, guidance is important. So I was guiding her as she was playing her game. And I was like, okay, do it. And then I'm like, you see, you did it. She goes, yes, I did it. I'm like, so yes, you can. Do not say I can't. So that inspired me because Charisma at the time was maybe 6 or 5. And I was just like, I didn't like her saying that, like she's around us a lot. So if my niece is saying that, and at least I'm here to curb that. How about other children that don't have someone, maybe a parent because they're working so much, or a guardian, or someone that just has maybe daycare teacher. Sometimes there's so many kids, like you can't focus on one child. So I had to write this book for children, for them to believe that, yes, they can do it. There's so many things going on. People will be like, oh, don't ask kids what they want to be. But I said, no, they have to see that they can be, and they can be whoever they want to be. And if they don't have someone in their life to tell them, well, Auntie Sandra's here and I'm going to tell you that you could do it.
Yes, that is very, very interesting. I want to have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to have one of the book. How can I get it?
Well, you can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Indigo. But I have a copy for you, and I'll sign it for you too, okay?
I would love it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. My last 2 questions.
Yes.
Discipline or motivation? Which comes first?
Wow. I used to say motivation, but now I'm going to say discipline.
Why? Why did you change your mind?
Because you could be motivated, but sometimes motivation goes down. But discipline is cutthroat. Discipline will keep you on path. Discipline will keep you on schedule. Discipline will keep you going. Motivation is it's like a gas sometimes, right? Sometimes you run out of gas. But discipline, it's inherited in you. right? So it's like you're always going to be doing a certain thing or you're always going to be moving a certain way. So discipline.
Wow.
I'm a disciplined girl now.
Wow. 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 You happen to be the second person to say motivation, but you've changed your mind. It's cool. It's
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, because I think all my guests, they always choose discipline. And that is cool. I had Jason's pardon who chose motivation, and it was fire.
Yeah.
It was really, really fire. But it's cool. It's how you will
Yes.
know yourself. In everything, it boils down to how you will know yourself.
Yes.
Yes. So we are going. Your last word
My last word.
to young people listening to you.
My last word to young people listening to me is
This is your camera. You can just speak to your
That's my camera?
Yes.
my last word to young people watching me is be the best version of yourself. You don't have to have it all figured out, but being the best you is doing, trying, going at it. Don't stop. Keep going, keep pushing. You're going to get there because being the best version of yourself is best for you and has to do with no one else.
That is quite interesting. Aside, yes, I can recommend one book.
Well, I have another book.
No, not your book.
Not my book?
No,
Oh,
no, 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 no.
I
not your
was going to recommend my
No,
book.
no, no, no.
Huh,
This time
what?
around, your book is first. Yes, I can. I
Yes.
know. But recommend the book that you have read that has given you something valuable in life.
Ooh, it's whose book was it? I think it was Devin Franklin, The 10 Commandments of Hollywood. Yes, Devin Franklin. That book is pretty good. What I took from there is, he uses scripture to navigate as well in life, right? In life, everybody has what they're working with, whom they're working with, right? And I feel that having a foundation, people try to shy away from religion and all that stuff, but hey, your favorite actor, your favorite actress, they believe in Jesus, okay? They trust Jesus. They know Jesus. They love Jesus. It is what it is.
This one, Jesus girl.
Jesus. I'm trying to be a better Jesus girl, but yeah. But that was a good book. I would recommend it. And also another book that I read, skipping my mind right now. Man, I can't remember because it was so long ago. But yeah, I would recommend that book. Yes.
Sandra, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. I really, really appreciate you for coming.
Thank you.
That is so amazing of you. Because I was waiting for this day for you to say something to young people, and definitely you've nailed it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for watching to this end. If you haven't subscribed to the page, kindly subscribe and be part of the family. We are all building the community that we want to fit in, the young people that we want them to take over, the young people that you and I want to be the next generation of leaders. So be part of the journey. Share your comments and subscribe, and share to a friend to also share to a friend. Thank you. Catch up with you next time. Bye.